Everyone, it's your boy Matt. This is a personal update. So, continuing on from the Taco admin for today, and I'll put a link in the Taco admin for this video. So, what's happening with me? Because I'm this very famous degenerate, this very famous dropkick, I have to constantly explain, hey, what's going on with the dropkick thing? You're literally registered as a junior psych, Matt. You used to practice as a psych. What's going on? It's abuse by the government. So I've describing my role as the intelligence arms intellectual. So what happens is because of my association with these people, I am being around them for so long, and they know me. They don't know me particularly well, and they are so fucking useless. And that's the thing. I know them. That's the biggest thing. Right? So because I know them, I know what they're shit at. So I kind of have this situation where I'm training these motherfuckers on how to be decent. And I end up with this role of being kind of like, I don't know, the whip. So the political movements will have a party whip. My job is to be the whip in the intelligence community for ideas which are just dangerously shit. Okay? And that's exhausting. And I've ended up with this role because I've had to survive in this nest of mediocre, sadistic psychopaths. Okay? And they, for example, most famously, there was this person called Lewis who went out to ruin my life because I was better at him at his fucking hobby martial art. I had Michael Armstrong running a fucking fascist cult, the little shit. Haven't been lying about that piece of shit. I really haven't. You guys have people in your organizations who you think are trustworthy people and you think are decent. Like the entire system of security vetting, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work because what you're really looking at is like, can this person be part of our tribe? That's the only thing you're looking at with a security clearance. Most people don't have the ability to understand reality, okay? It takes a shit ton of work. It takes a shit ton of study to be able to look at your assumptions about something and work through them. And it takes a shit ton of moral character to be honest with yourself about everything. Okay? And that process is exhausting and it's quite depressing, honestly. There's a reason why lawyers often suffer from depression because their job is to constantly think over and over again how they could be wrong about something. Now, returning to what I'm discussing here today, right? I'm in the shitty position I'm in and have degraded to the person I am now because any time I do something positive, it's immediately stolen from me every single fucking time. It doesn't, if I make a friendship, that person is now a member of the intelligence community or gets fucking used in behavior management. If I join a fucking group, that group will then be studied and they'll have people put in the group. If I like do anything, and it all just happened so meaninglessly because of this bullshit unprovoked abuse from Lewis and these people at the Australian Signals Directorate, right? And having to then deal with that unprovoked abuse and then having to discipline these fuckers has been a fucking full-time endeavor. And at the same time, I still have this position of authority in this community, which has kind of just been thrust on me, like, and developed. And it's like having jury duty, okay? It's like being like the Jewish guy during the Holocaust who ends up having to do the accounts at Auschwitz, okay? I'm the Jewish accountant at Auschwitz. It's fucking fantastic. And I've been trying very hard to get out of this duty, but I'm fucking stuck with it. And it seems like the only way out is through, which is why I have kind of fought myself to the top of the fucking pyramid in the Australian fucking intelligence community and in the defense community. The consequence for having to spend my entire psychological world on this thing, and the degradation which comes from the strange, cruel, and unusual abuse which happens when you are being actively stifled by these sadistic fuckers, right? Has been that I now live in a fucking homeless village. I have no friends or associates. I have a list of people who I have to constantly plan on how I'm going to stab or how they are going to stab me and things similar. It means that while I was doing this thing kind of, and it was half jokingly to be a sex symbol, I'm now the least attractive fucking sack of shit in Australia because of the degradation which has occurred as a result of this prolonged, cruel and unusual abuse. And it's been something which I've been calling out for the prosecution of these shit fucks in intelligence for a long time. Like, Michael Armstrong really does need to go to the slammer. So does Lewis. We just don't prosecute people in intelligence or defense. I think it's because we have this artificial thing. Like, they've put all these processes and procedures in place, and they say, hey, we follow the processes and procedure. Yeah, we gave him, he went through the positively vetting cycle for security clearances. Yes, oh, we all fucking vouch for him. And then they find out that after all these people vouch for the person and they're at a completely useless cunt, they then can't go back in on themselves and be like, oh, it looks like our processes and procedures don't work. They're like, nope, 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 processes and procedures were followed, that means it's good. Don't work like that. You just need to fire these cunts and stop, and even if it's expensive to do a security clearance or train a person, you just need to fucking cut them, and when they fuck up repeatedly and as badly as Lewis and Michael, you fucking put them in prison. Because otherwise you have what's happening with my life. And this is bullshit. You should not chase people to the top of your fucking institution, right? It is not normal what I have done. You should not put people in the exceedingly abnormal position where they have to become a fucking Sith Lord power broker to potentially have a stab at a normal life. You don't get terrorist movements and you don't get things like this unless your authoritarian regime is really pushing down on someone. That's what usually happens. Particularly someone who's a hippie, lovey-dovey psych who's now a fucking Sith Lord. Good work. Yeah, no, it's been bullshit. Have a good one.